welcome back to week 4. So for this week, we will be using our book again, right? I want you guys to go ahead and open up your books to page 162. We'll be going over chapter 7 this week. So you might ask, what is chapter 7 about? So chapter 7 is about a confident girl's guide to navigate screens. So when you think of screens, you think, oh, my cell phone or my mom's cell phone or a laptop, an iPad, right? They all have screens. So how many of you have social media? I have social media, right? So social media is Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, right? So social media has had the power to shake our confidence like almost nothing else. It is literally everywhere all the time, right? Watching, judging, excluding, and expecting stuff. So it magnifies everything from friendships to brain spins, from risks to belly flops by a power of gazillion. So a healthy relationship with the life online is super important because social media can either be the ultimate confidence black hole or a confidence enhancing new universe to explore. So now let's check our status. Let's go ahead and move on to page 163. So you've been surrounded by cell phones, iPads, computers since you were born. So some of you might already have smartphones, others might not have access to smartphones or anything of that nature yet, right? So what all of you need to be aware of is how, what you need to be aware of is what is coming for you in the virtual world, right? So at the bottom, we have test your screen smarts, true or false. I want you guys to go ahead and answer what you think is appropriate. It's on page 163 at the bottom. Answer what you think, if it's true or if it's false. So go ahead and pause the video so you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so now let's break down these answers. So for number 1, the answer would be true, right? I don't know if I said this, but go ahead and switch over to page 164 and we will go over the answers. So for number 1, it is true, right? Actually, 92% of teens are online every day. 92% is a lot, right? So for number 2, it is false. 50% of teens feel addicted to their phones. Number 3 is false as well because 88% think oversharing is a big issue. 4 is false because 77% of teens think that they are less authentic and real online. And lastly, number 5 is true, right? That's so scary. So when it comes to your confidence, technology can be incredible. Screens can connect you to your friends and communities of people who are a lot like you. Your phone or computer can help you find support of risk-taking for being a girl in action. But it can also be bad. And when it is bad, it is really, really bad, right? Life online tends to crank up the speed on all that brain spinning we already do so well. So if you're obsessing about something that happened during class, it's tough to leave it at school and chill out at night, right? Because you're constantly connected. You can start texting about it, posting sad pictures or advice quizzes, soliciting opinions for hours, and tracing your likes. All of that only makes the obsession worse, right? You just start thinking about that issue and start thinking about it, overthinking about it, and it just doesn't lead you anywhere good. So use them as tools for good and don't let them make the bad thinking get worse. Take it from an awesome young woman just a little older than you are. So now we are on page 165 and now let's read about the girl guru, right? So I will go ahead and read this story to you guys. So Samara Paz, who's 23, is one of our girls in action. When she was a teenager, she remembers getting caught up in trying to please everyone and present a perfect image. It was so stressful, horrible, she remembers. She's here to offer a warning. Things can get cloudy and murky on social media, with tons of ways to misunderstand, to jump into conclusions. Nothing compares to sharing emotions, opinions, and vulnerabilities in person. It's so hard to distinguish between what's real and what's not online. It's easy to create a fake version of yourself and even easier to get addicted to the likes of followers and so-called friends. So now, I want you guys to go over and flip the page to 166 and 167. I want you guys to go ahead and take this quiz and mark it down in your journal what you answer. Okay? Okay, so now let's break it down. Go ahead and flip over to page 168. And I want you guys to go ahead and add up your points by giving yourself 1 point for each number 1, 2 points for each number 2, and 3 points for each number 3. What did you get? If the total is between 6 and 8, you're in deep, officially obsessed. It's okay, it can happen to all of us, but you need to build some new roads away from this obsession of being so much on your phone or online. If you score between a 9 and 14, you're definitely addicted. Occasionally, you're able to take a step back and live out your life off the screen, but we will continue with this chapter for ideas or how to be more empowered. And if you scored 15 or higher, you're impressively balanced. You can use social media when you want and then walk away. Or maybe you just don't have much access yet. Either way, some rock solid strategies will help you keep that balance. So, on to the next page, which is page 169. I want you guys to remember our toolbox for combating faulty thinking. All those tools help for screen crises too, and we've added a few more. So let's go ahead and read through those. It is change the channel, hit the pause button, use positive images and thinking, find a lucky charm, write a hot air balloon, tell yourself the maybe story, put the device down. Sometimes even 5 minutes is enough to avert a crisis. Keep it out of sight when you can see. Keep it out of sight when you can see your phone, your stress levels are getting higher. Take a screen vacation. Try this for more serious problems like phone addiction. Use a 24-hour rule before you dash off in explosion text. Give it a day. And talk face to face, or at least FaceTime to FaceTime for the big stuff. So, and now I want you all. Now we're going to mix and match for both lists to stop the brain spins. So page 170 has dilemma number 1. We're going to go ahead and read that. So Tara is way into Snapchat. She sends snaps to her friends for hours at a time, including lots of people she's never met in person, which is not okay. She tries hard to keep the streak going and never have a break because she has big time FOMO. Last week she freaked when she saw pictures of her friends doing stuff without her, and in her mind that meant only one thing. They obviously don't want to be friends with her at all. Her world is officially over. She figures she should send a mean message to all of them, dumping them before they can do it to her. So solution number 1. Tara is already a catastrophic thinker and a bit of a mind reader. 2. Since she's sure that she knows what her friends are thinking, Snapchat is only making it worse. Tara decides to put the phone aside, then she remembers it would be useful to get another perspective. What was she doing when her friends took those pictures? Maybe something important? Oh right, she was winning a soccer game. Now she's starting to feel better. For the big money. Which tools do you notice Tara using? I want you guys to go ahead and read A, B, and C. And tell me what you answer. Go ahead. The first two, right? So she is putting the device down and telling herself the maybe story. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to dilemma number 2. Rosie's always liked to get everything right. She loves to arrange her room just so, or cover her notebooks with the perfect stickers. Now that she's older, she spends loads of time on Instagram creating the ideal image to share with the world. It's awesome, but it's exhausting. Making sure to get her hair and her clothes just right, or shooting the coolest short videos. She gets lots of likes, which she loves, and it's stressful to always be the best, funniest, prettiest, and coolest version of herself. Some days she wants to back off, but she's too afraid of getting fewer likes might mean she'll become a total loser and her friends might dump her. So let's move on to solution number 2. Rosie also thinks it is in a catastrophic kind of way, fearing that less posting and popularity online might mean the end of her social life. It's almost like she's wearing a mask and her screen addiction won't let her take it off. She gets so many compliments but do people even mean it? Rosie needs to wean herself away from the obsession, so she takes baby steps towards getting off her phone. Maybe first she moves from 10 posts a day to 5, and then 2, and then every other day, and finally no posts for a week, and then a complete week away from her phone if possible. Now let's try this again. Which of these 3 tools do you think Rosie is using? What did you spot? So go ahead and I'll give you guys like 10 seconds to look through these. A is positive thinking, B is 24-hour rule, and C is take a screen vacation. Okay, so if you pick C, which is take a screen vacation, then you are all over this answer. She didn't. In this case, she chose to put her phone down for 24 hours, so B is not correct. And she didn't employ positive thinking, so A isn't right either. Instead, she's moving toward a solid screen vacation, right? So now we'll be going to page 178, which looks like this. Okay, and just before we get started on page 178, I feel like a lot of people think that if you don't get enough likes on Facebook or Instagram or your TikTok or Twitter, right, or Snapchat, then you're not pretty or you're not popular, you're not awesome, right? Which that is not the case, right? Your likes do not determine how pretty you are, or how awesome you are, or how popular you are, right? Sometimes it might seem that way, but it's not. So now that we're on page 178, what to do confidence boosting screen use. So there are plenty of ways to use social media for incredible good, including sharing your life with friends, collaborating on projects for school, making music, getting to understand other points of view, and connecting with people who have the same passions, right? So let's focus on the positives. Here are some of the amazing ways to use the power of online communities to make the world a better place for you and for the people around you. So find inspiring people to follow and watch who will encourage you to do amazing things. Connect with people like you, positive people who will help you be your best self. And use it to make a difference in your world, big or small, but to be one of the girls of action. We found some girls of action who've used social media in amazing ways. So as you guys can see on page 179, I want you guys to go ahead and read through those and just think about, how these people are doing things on social media in a positive way, and how they are bringing all these other things into effect, and not just negativity. So now we will be moving on to page 186. So as you can see, these 3 chapters all boil down to another crucial piece of code: think less. So right here it says risk more, think less, and number 3, just as risk more, it is a quick reminder to take action. Think less is a short way to prompt you to get out of your own head and obsess less. It may sound kind of funny, but less brain spinning will help you confidently handle friends, social media, and almost everything else that pops into your life. So I want you guys to go ahead and think about that, write that down, and share it to me on your journal. That is all we have for this week's video. I want you guys to go ahead and write everything I told you today down, and let me know what you think. And if you want to get a heads up, next week we will be talking about chapter 8. If you want to go ahead and start reading Imani's story right here. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to send me an email or ask me. And that's all I have for you guys, for you girls today. So thank you. See you guys next week.